Welcome to another wonderful edition of Leading Ladies TV, the TV show to come to for inspiration, where women share their stories to help inspire all of our viewers to go out, make a difference and just listen to somebody else's story. And today I'm delighted. I have on the show Emily Blake. Welcome to the show, Emily.
Hello, thank you.
I'm so delighted to have you. For the viewers, Emily is a presenter and also holds the very grand title of the British Beauty Curve, and which I'm really excited about listening about and hearing about today. And I know you're going to share a story with us today, Emily, about sort of overcoming adversity and loving yourself from the inside and obviously looking beautiful on the outside. So I'll hand over to you and say, share your message.
Thank you. So I think I'll start from when I was in school. I've always been a really happy, positive person, and I think that's because of my family. We're all happy and joking and laughing all the time. So growing up I was happy, but I did sort of face a few bullies along the way. And growing up in Norfolk, in a school in Norfolk, me and my family were kind of the most different looking people there. So me and my brother at school were targets because our skin colour was different, because our hair was different. We were both a bit overweight as well. So we had all this, all these sort of things people could pick on. And I still sort of went out and did different things. I was into my brownies and girl guides, and I was a prefect, and I was in the choir. I went to all the clubs just because I loved doing so many different things. And I think people saw that, and sort of those bullies, maybe they weren't happy or they didn't feel they were able to do that. So they sort of tried to bring you down so that they could feel a bit better about themselves. And I think that happens a lot, and it goes on a lot today still. Went on to secondary school, faced bullying again. This time it wasn't just me, it was my two best friends. So I had my best friend, my male friend was gay, and my female friend was in a wheelchair. So us three together, perfect targets walking around the school. So we faced a lot of bullies, name calling. Quite a scary time, but we were all really positive people, and I've noticed that people that get bullied are always either a really positive person, really intelligent, or I went to a conference recently where lots of young girls stood up and said about their bullying stories, and they were all strikingly beautiful. And you just think, what, you got bullied? That's and it's because people are jealous and they need to bring you down to feel better about themselves, which is a shame, and I do sort of feel sorry for them as well. But I think you just need to keep being yourself, keep doing those things that make you happy. You can't let other people drag you down. And I often think of it as a light. So you're shining really brightly, and people will try and dim that light. So you can't dim that light at all for anyone, and do what makes you happy. I mentioned my weight as well. I was overweight. So when I was 16, I did weigh 16 stone, which is overweight. And I decided I needed to lose weight, not because of what people had called me, but because I had a couple of little incidents where I'd hurt my knee, and I knew that I could feel that pressure and that weight on my knee. So I didn't want it to keep happening, so I lost weight. After university, I found this beauty competition, and I sort of saw that as a way of celebrating that weight loss. And I just thought, right, I'm going to show everyone what I am. And so I was on that stage in my red dress, and I felt the most amazing I ever had. And that was a big sort of message to those people that had tried to bring me down, to say, hey, it didn't work, and I'm probably even stronger now because of it. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
Oh, I have this beautiful image then of you in a red dress on a stage. Well done. Can I just, you mentioned something a little about how when you have got involved in beauty, and congratulations, you really are beautiful, and I'm so pleased that you've found a career in that. You mentioned that a number of people you were coming across had suffered bullying.
Yeah.
That's quite common, is it? Sort of in people that have got, like you say, a light shining.
Yeah, it's something that I've noticed recently. It's really common, and you wouldn't expect it. People you look at and think world, or you think they couldn't possibly have any hang-ups. They are often, they've been bullied because of that. They've been bullied. They don't feel that great about themselves, and it's something I'm seeing more of, and it really shocks me. I was on a shoot a few weeks ago, and this girl who I sort of I'm a bit of a fan of her, really, and I met her, and she's amazing. She's got the most amazing face, and she said she's really insecure, and I was really confused by that. You just assume that they're going to be really, really confident, but she was actually really shy, and felt insecure about how she looked. And she receives like bullying and passive aggressiveness because people are obviously jealous of her. And I just think that's horrible, because then you're bringing someone down, when they're a really happy, bubbly person, and people keep trying to, to squish that down, which isn't right.
No, absolutely not. Emily, I know that as well as being a model, which is just fantastic, you also take a message into schools,
Yeah.
and you really do. You're a presenter, and you go out and you spread the word. What would be your key messages for people that are being bullied? How do you put up the resilience? How do you keep smiling?
It's really difficult, and I think you have to look really sort of deep. And I think for me, I was lucky because I had my family, were always so positive. A lot of people, might not have such a positive household, but I think it's important that you talk to someone. Um, in my school, we had a careers advisor, but she was a bit like a friend as well. And we always used to go and hang out in her little room, in the afternoons, and that sort of took us away from all the bullies. So you need to go and find somewhere that is a positive environment, so you can sort of absorb that, and you can continue to be that positive person. That you shouldn't you shouldn't let it change who you are. You should, you know, that's what they want. They want to make that personality of yours disappear. They want you to feel bad about yourself. And I just think the best way to combat that is just to ignore it. If you continue like they're not there, they will eventually realise that, and they'll get bored of bullying you. They'll see it's not working, and they won't take any notice anymore. But you just have to keep being you, really.
Emily, I can see your light. It's shining brightly through the camera to me. Is there anything that you do on a daily basis to kind of keep that positivity inside and feel good inside?
Yeah, I do this little thing in the mirror, and it's before I leave the house. It's just like a little boost. So I used to actually talk to myself in the mirror and say, you look really good, you're a nice person, you're going to have a great day today. But now I don't need to say anything at all. I just look in the mirror, do a little smile, and that sends me that message because I've got that cemented in my mind
In your
now.
mind, yeah, absolutely. I love this. I, I, I've got the lipstick principles, and love is number one.
Mm.
And part of that, when I run my workshops and things, I, I ask people to do a reflection exercise where they look in the mirror each evening and they say, I'm proud of you, I love you, and really start to connect with themselves. And I've seen people's self-belief and self-worth change in a week because of looking at themselves in the mirror, in the eye, and saying, "You are beautiful."
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. I like that you're using that one. And is there anything else? What are your sort of key messages then? Because this has just been such a beautiful interview. What's the key message that you'd like people to take away from today?
So the first one is do not dim your light for anyone at all. I actually experienced it again quite recently, being 24, 25 years old. I didn't think it would happen anymore, but it does, and it will probably continue. But I was in an environment where this girl kept saying, she kept trying to undermine everything I was saying, and I'd be all positive, and people were laughing at my jokes, and she'd come out with something, really snide to try and get the attention away from me. And I was travelling away from that situation, and I was on the tube. I actually wrote this little song called, it was about not letting someone dim your light. And, it's going to keep happening, and you have to keep being yourself, and do not let people take anything away from you. So that's the first thing. And just be confident, love who you are, tell yourself that you are amazing, and it's not all about looks, it's about what's inside as well. You have to tell yourself that you're a kind, nice person, as well as looking amazing, looking fabulous, feeling fabulous. So tell yourself that, because our minds can't tell the difference. If you tell yourself you're fat and horrible and you're an ugly person, and your mind will just believe that. So why not tell yourself something positive? If you if your mind's going to believe it, make it something good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not confident, tell yourself you are, and it will become what you are, because that's how our minds work, and we need to build up on those habits. So I guess you could say, fake it until you make it.
It's absolutely true. I've just conceived. Sorry, I'm leaning in. Oh, that's not a good look. Um, I've got a card here. It's called Truth, which is part of the lipstick principles again, and I really do encourage women to tell themselves the truth, which is, we are amazing, we're incredible, and we've got everything that we need right now. And yeah, we're confident. You step into it.
Yeah.
I've just loved interviewing you. Your light is absolutely amazing, and I'm so pleased you haven't let anybody dim that light. And I will put below on this interview where people can grab hold of you. Well, not grab hold of you, but get in touch with you if you want to hear more about you. And so that just leaves me to say thanks so much for sharing your story today, Emily. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been great.